Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about the assembly that was held in Barcelona earlier today, because in that assembly, they were talking about the status of FC Barcelona. Where does Barcelona stand, right? Financially, sportingly? What have they been doing over the past 6 to 7 months, and what could we see in the next 6 to 7 months? And the one that was talking about where Barcelona was at, it was the CEO of FC Barcelona, which was Ferran Reverter. And to be very honest, after listening to what he had to say within this assembly, now it's funny to think that we wondered why Messi was not retained at FC Barcelona, because what the CEO of Barcelona basically explained, it gave us an image on where the board was at when they first came in and how much they actually knew. It is just so crazy for Ferran to actually say some things, because he's basically saying that they came in knowing very little and that they have found out through time on what the contracts were like for the players and the expenses for FC Barcelona. Like, no wonder Messi left in the beginning of August, even though there were still 30 to 35 days for the transfer window to get into its conclusion, because it was clear that Barcelona, right, the club, the brand new board members, they needed to investigate even deeper to understand what were the expenses, what were the contracts, can we actually fix the contracts in time? And they did not want to retain Lionel Messi all the way until August 31st or September 1st and find out in the very end that they cannot retain Messi, because if they found out that they could not retain Messi and Messi was still at Barcelona on August 31st, he would not be without any club, which is why they say let's just play it safe and let go of Messi in the beginning of August 1st. But besides that, right, now stepping away from Messi, now that Barcelona has moved on, now that it is quite clear that we need to move on and build a brand new Barcelona, this is where we currently do stand, and this was the final conclusion for Barcelona financially. And they have stated that in the 2020-2021 season, they have experienced losses of 481 million euros. And the CEO has also revealed that the only reason why they have lost 481 million euros in that season, it is because of four things: the salary increases of the players, number 2, the management expenses, number 3, the financial expenses, and number 4, the COVID impact. That is the reason why they have lost 481 million euros. Now, what does that mean, right? What exactly does it mean that they lost 481 million euros? Well, it basically means that because they had to take out a loan for Antoine Griezmann, even though they knew that they could not purchase Griezmann at that time and still took out a loan of 85 million euros, that is part of the reason why. Because Barcelona paid 134 million euros for Coutinho, that is also the reason why. Because Barcelona had to spend 8.5 million euros in total for the Arthur and Pjanic swap deal, that is also another factor. And because of the high salaries and how these high salaries continue to grow for the veteran players, not the youth players, but the veteran players, the fact that it continued to grow year after year, that is also another big factor. And the new board members have found out by the time they came into this club that it was very difficult to actually maintain the current payroll and the contracts that many of these players did have at that time. All of these factors, right, there's so much more, but because of all of these factors, that is why they came into a final conclusion that they have lost 481 million euros. And then of course, right, because they had so many expenses yearly, another very big factor, and what completely destroyed Barcelona, it was because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic stopped so many revenues for this club to the point where they were almost bankrupt, and they had very little cash flow coming into this club. And so of course, Joan Laporta and the other board members, the executives, everyone that's working within Barcelona, they are having a very strategic plan. They are planning on opening the Camp Nou more consistently and bringing more fans in the stadiums. Right now, it does stand at 60% capacity, but who knows? They might want to grow that capacity throughout the season. But now let's step away from the assembly, because one of the things that the CEO did also talk about was that he has drawn two conclusions, two things that they could do for the next 6 to 7 months and what they're actually capable to do in this season. Now, and I want you guys to really pay attention to what exactly Barcelona is doing, what they're capable of, and why they're doing it. So he has stated, and I quote, "If it is necessary, we have more than 20 million euros to actually spend in January, and when it does come to the renewals, we want to renew players like Ansu Fati and Pedri, which is currently on the right track." So those are the two things that they are capable to do within the next 6 to 7 months. And starting with the 20 million euros that they do have to spend in January, right? Because what exactly could Barcelona do with 20 million euros? And especially in about 2 or 3 months, like, do they want to get Dani Olmo for 20 million euros? Do they want to get Sterling for 20 million euros? Because right now, these two players are nowhere near the price tag of 20 million. They're more than 50 to 60 million euros if Barcelona want to bring them in January. But then that is where the next report does come in, because one of the players that Barcelona is currently scouting heavily and have been eyeing over the past 9 to 12 months, it has been Karim Adeyemi. And it says here, according to Sport 1, RB Salzburg wants 30 million to 35 million euros for Karim Adeyemi. Adeyemi Adeyemi is a player who is keen on leaving next summer. Liverpool is also a club that are very interested in Adeyemi, but the player would prefer to move to Germany instead. And there has been so many reports regarding Karim Adeyemi and his performance, because they have stated that the last time they have seen someone as gifted as Adeyemi, it has been Erling Haaland. And so now that we have assessed where Barcelona is at, because we have just seen what the CEO had to say in that assembly, right now Barcelona is not in their strongest position. I just do not see Barcelona actually bringing in either Sterling or Olmo, and it is very clear that it is going to be very difficult to do so, which is why that a player like Adeyemi would be a huge opportunity for Barcelona to capitalize off of, because he is a very talented player, a player that many do highly rate. He's very technical on the ball. When he is inside the box, it is almost a 99% chance that he might convert that opportunity into a goal. Many are also explaining that Adeyemi's playing style is very similar to Robin, right? The Netherlands legend that did play for Bayern Munich. And what's scary about this whole thing is that Adeyemi, even though he does have that playing style of Robin, you and me know how dangerous he actually is on the right flank. He's actually capable to score with both feet. And because of that, because he is so flexible and versatile, because he can play in every position, he is a real goal scorer. He scores in almost every other game. So I do see this as a 100% deal. Like, if Barcelona is actually serious on having around 22 million euros to spend in January, I would highly suggest for them to spend these amount of funds for Adeyemi in January, because it would greatly help the attack. As for Ansu Fati and Pedri, yes, they have basically confirmed that they are prioritizing these two players and their contract renewals. We also do have another report coming from Ferran Correas, who has stated that Alemany is leading the contract renewals of Fati, Pedri, Araujo, Gavi, and wants to seal them as soon as possible. Minguesa's contract will also be reviewed for a possible improvement. They're also making a decision on whether they want to maintain a player like Yusuf Demir. And then when it comes to Riqui Puig, his future will depend on the brand new coach. And so you look at what has been happening today, you look at what they are paying attention towards too, you can get a sense that they are not adding any emphasis on real big transfers, right? In January, what they're really focused on and what they really want to do and achieve within the next 6 to 7 months is put their focus and time and money on what they currently do have, right? Ansu Fati, Pedri, Araujo, Gavi, Minguesa, Riqui Puig, because they already believe that they have the most talented players within this club already. So they are doing the complete opposite of what the Bartomeu and the board members did with Barcelona about 3 to 4 years ago, because the previous board members under Bartomeu, they were improving the contracts and giving higher salaries towards the veteran players, the players that did not come through the academy, and did not add any emphasis on the youth players who are up and coming. But now we're seeing here that Barcelona, the club, the CEO, Mateo Alemany, Joan Laporta, they want to improve the contracts of Fati, Pedri, and many of these young great players. And if they do have some side cash, which is again the 20 million euros, they would like to spend that on January 2022. It's a very different way on how Barcelona is currently running this club, and I'm really liking it. So let's see how Barcelona do navigate throughout these next 2 or 3 months before January does hit. Hopefully Barcelona can renew the contracts of many of these young great players, and hopefully Barcelona can actually go for a player like Karim Adeyemi, who is a player that will greatly help and move Barcelona forward. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.